Welcome back, guys. Thanks for taking time to spend a little time with me. I always appreciate that, man. Thank you very much for doing so. But guys, I had to make this video. You may have already seen this article, maybe not, but I had to make this video, guys. And before I even get started in, the commentary that I'm going to provide, I have to take time out to recognize a couple things. Now, to me, guys, this is the definition of everyone's voice in the community making a difference, right? As you can see, this article was posted, or this thread was created on July the 16th of 2016 by Deuce Douglas. And if anybody knows Deuce Douglas, please let him know how much I appreciate what he did in this thread. You guys are going to see it here in a moment. This is phenomenal feedback. Not only is it great ideas, but the way it's illustrated and the way he broke it down and presented it, this is phenomenal. It's nothing short of phenomenal. So please let him know that I said that. All right. And I also have to give a shout out to one of my followers. His name is Rohan. He knows who he is. He sent this to me, myself, Smitty, and Azure. And had he not done that, I may have never seen this. So that goes to show you guys, when I always say everybody's voice is important, no matter if you think that you are a big voice in the community or the small voice in the community, they all matter. Because this has to, we have to represent everyone, delivering the same message when you have some of the same ideas. So it's it's visual, and we're vocal, and we're making, noise about it. And some of these things, we can continue to push the issue. All right, so let me show you exactly what he has here. This is phenomenal. I'm not even going to go into all the details. I want you guys to go check out the link. I'll have the link in the description. Go read this thread for yourself and word for word so you can understand where Deuce Douglas is coming from. But this stuff is amazing. Now, in terms of CFM, for us guys in the CFM crowd, the CFM movement, man, a lot of this stuff, why it's so important to me, a lot of this stuff we have already been talking about as well. Guys like myself and Shop and Smitty and Azure and a lot of other people that I may not even be mentioning, that's, even with the Game Changer program, a lot of CFM guys like Mark Rollins, a whole lot of guys, Sean Mason, and, a ton of us that have been asking for these type of things. But again, it's power in numbers. Now, to see that guys in the community have these same concerns, especially guys over at OS, a lot of guys that I've talked to throughout the years, it's always great to compile these things. Like, I know Millennium OS is probably a guy who would really appreciate this. A Moonlight Swami, all of these guys, right? But the more that we all talk about these things, we can make these things like the focal point. Because me personally, this is how I feel about this article. I'm gonna give you, run down some of the key points here, but this is how I feel. This right here is it. This is the blueprint. I feel like we don't even need to offer any more feedback for a little while. Like, this needs to be the template. The devs over there that work on CFM, like the John Whites of the world, guys like that, you can literally take this template and just go down the list. Whatever you can get in for this, whatever year, get it in. Whatever you can do from the next year, get it in. And until this list is no more. And of course, any of the things that the devs want to do themselves, of course you do that as well. But this is the meat and potatoes right here. Like, I feel like I don't even have to provide any more feedback, because I've said a lot of these things 100 times. But here is it. It is right here broken down. So guys, how many times have you heard me say preseason? I always talk about 90-man rosters. And he has it right here. We need to have 90-man rosters, a real preseason, also realistic cut dates, so everything lines up to the NFL. So you can really create that scenario, right? As well as what he has here, multi-team depth charts. Now, I've said this in so many words, but the way he is saying it is so clear. Basically, what he's saying, man, is then now in preseason, you got these, specific depth charts for your first team, second team, third team, or what have you, and then you can give these individual depth charts certain time or certain amount of snaps. Think about how it's done in the NFL. It's not currently done like that in Madden, right? Now he has the position coach suggestions. Y'all already know how we feel about that. Waiver wire, choosing preseason opponents, dynamic game plans, and I'll let you guys read this for yourself. Team chemistry and player morale. We all know all of that stuff. And then, if you can click on the pictures here, and he has a lot of great mock-ups here trying to show you, some examples. Good stuff, guys. I mean, everything that I'm seeing here, excuse me, is phenomenal. And guys, excuse me while I adjust the screen there. But yeah, then you got the injuries. He's going into specific details about what he wants in the injuries and more injury variety. But this one right here, how many times have you heard me say this? Also, I gotta give a shout out to Shopmaster. Shopmaster has been saying the same thing for years as well. Progressive fatigue, wear and tear over the course of the season. Just like how NBA 2K17, which I believe they introduced it in 16, how they have where you have different variations of, the body parts, things that are being affected, and you can see how much wear and tear is on each part. But as well, they also have that fatigue factor. Who's fresh, who's not. If you play my league like I do, which I believe is a phenomenal franchise mode, you have to really consider if your guy's not fresh. You got to get him in and out the game. Got to give guys rest from time to time. All right, injury timeline, expanded injury ratings. Let's take a look at this. See, look at how he has it broken down here. Phenomenal stuff, folks. I mean, just beautiful. All right, multiple injuries, presentation. He's giving you a couple mock-ups on how he wants to see the presentation, and I'll go through a couple of these screens here. And I believe most of these, it's pretty much the same screen, but you get an idea, and you'll see it, guys, when you go through and read this thread for yourself. CFM ticker. All right, and look at some of these mock-ups. Look at this. Good stuff. Phenomenal stuff, man. Expanding on the score, scrolling through the game stats would bring up the game's box score. Outstanding stuff. And remember, NFL 2K5 had a lot of these things. You know what I mean? And to me, y'all know how I feel, man. It's not about reliving the past. Like, oh, so-and-so had this, oh, so-and-so had this. I don't really care about that, because that doesn't mean anything. I'm worrying about progression, pushing things forward. Regardless of what game had what, old Maddens or old 2K games, it doesn't matter. This stuff needs to be in the current product. So I'm not going to be one of them people saying, oh, well, they had it, why y'all can't? Nah, we all acknowledge that. Madden had stuff that they used to have that should be in the current game. All right, so even right here, multiple broadcast packages. He's giving you a couple mock-ups here. All right. And, this is a big one. Always use in-game assets. So every time they're showing us, these particular career stats or season stats or whatever, use in-game assets instead of showing the real-world footage. I agree with that as well. Like he says here, and a few things that could be done with this to make the broadcast feel a bit more immersive is using these real in-game assets. He's absolutely right with that. In-game lookbacks and look-aheads. All right, so he has some quick markups here. Like I said, man, you have to commend him for the work that he did here. This stuff is phenomenal. All right, so let's keep going. Stat banner references, league look-ins, playoff presentation, postseason awards, and here's the off-season. And look at what he's done for the off-season hub. So he's covering all bases, not just the material, but he's showing you ways that he would like to see it implemented and how it should be, presented to us as far as visually. That's why I said this feedback is outstanding. Retirements, coaching staff, big one. You hear myself, you've heard other people, even on Sim Standard Radio, some of the guests talk about how we need position coaches. You need a staff. What I would like to have as well, have a staff that can go out and scout for me. I know Azure Effect is big on that as well. And maybe if I scout a guy, I send somebody to the pro day, or combine or what have you. Maybe we get a little extra versus another team that didn't scout a guy. Things like that. Another thing I want to add here, which I have to go back and read this thread and see if it's in there, but in regards to the depth charts that he referred to, I also would like to see you have to activate a roster each week. In the real NFL, only 46 guys dress. So I would like that to be in CFM. So now it's more of a strategic game. Depending on who I'm playing against, I got to now decide, hey, am I going to, come in with 6 receivers, or do I need an extra back? Do I need an extra DB? Because we're facing a certain offense, and you have to make that decision. That's going to make it way more immersive. Look at all the player development stuff he has. Coach traits, coaching trees, rookie scouting, player grades, medical evaluation. Here it is, guys. This is what he was talking about and what I was mentioning as well that 2K has. And in NFL head coach had this also before 2K. So this stuff is not foreign to EA. They've done this before. And this is exactly what I was talking about. And look at the markup that he has here. Injury history tells you what happened to him in high school, things that may have happened to him while he was in college, the concerning risks, the worrisome, this stuff is crazy, man. The durability, all of this stuff. We need it, man. We need it. All of this stuff needs to affect gameplay. Projections and mock drafts, college stats, combine and pro days, scouting process, and here you go. I mean, it's just so much stuff here, man. Restricted free agents, signing free agents, roster strategy, team traits, free agency difficulty, the draft, new, I'll show you a couple mock-up here. New, visual presentation, and just the way the draft is structured, draft commentary. I mean, he has a ton of ideas here, folks. This stuff is phenomenal. Draft crowd reactions, post-draft grades, compensatory picks, undrafted free agents, rookie minicamp, OTAs, and training camp. He has it all. Look at all of this stuff, man. So that'll pretty much do it, man. As I'm scrolling, you guys can still see some of the other stuff here. But I'm just saying, this is it. This is the blueprint. Right here. This is the blueprint. And I'm definitely going to discuss this, with John White and some of the other guys at EA that deals directly with franchise. I'm serious, man. I feel like you could take this article, post it up, or print it out, or whatever, and start working from these things. And trust me, I know a lot of these things the CFM guys have thought about, even on the dev team. But my point is, this is what the community wants. Us guys in the CFM world, this is what we want. This is depth. You know what I'm saying? This is the my league of Madden, so to speak. You always hear me talk about that. I think my league is probably one of the best franchises that I've played right now. I haven't played MLB The Show, so I can't compare it to that. I haven't played NHL or any of those games as far as franchise in depth. But I'm just saying, the direct correlation to me would be what I'm seeing in NBA 2K's My League. Putting that and reference, doing those type of things in Madden, and it's all right here. This is it. This is it. And wow. So, of course you guys can hear my excitement about this thread, man. Again, I want to thank Rohan for posting it and allowing me to see it. And Deuce Douglas, awesome job. Awesome job. Amazing write-up. And I'm pretty sure anybody in the CFM world would fully agree with this. So I wanted to make this video to get it out there. Videos never go anywhere. It'll be a point of reference as long as that video is up, which it should be forever, as well as this article. It should be here. Should be an open thread for as long as it needs to be. So there's some reference points there. And that's it, guys. I'm just rambling now, but definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments. And go check it out. Go read it for yourself. Go read it word for word and listen to this man's ideas. All right, so that's all I got for you guys. When the scream in the face appears, y'all hear me, the scream in the face. Can't even, I'm tongue tied right now. When the screaming face appears on the screen, guys, go ahead and hit that to sub. As well as, guys, I promise it will never hurt you to hit that like button. And until next time, guys, like always, let me know what you think. Peace.